One second.
Yep.
Yeah, perfect.
Yep. So, hello everyone. Right here in front of me is Meenank Minnu. And first of all, he's a head of a digital marketing at PageGround. I don't know what's the current status, but yeah, that's what I saw. So, and apart from that, let me tell you a fun thing about him. He started as a magician and climbed up to this head of the digital marketing. I mean, I I don't understand like what's the journey and everything behind it, and we are going to discover that. So, Minank, like, give me your story. Like, how did you started with magician, and why did you start with that thing, and how did you came to the marketing field from there?
Absolutely. So, hi everyone who's listening to this. Hope you find this episode valuable. Hi, I'm Meenank, and currently I'm a marketer, content creator who creates content for brands. Pitchground was my ex role, not right now. It's been quite a while since I'm not a part of Pitchground, and it was a pretty good journey with PG. I joined them when I was one of the first employees, first 5 to 10 employees, you can say. Good stuff. We grew from 0 to 20 million in valuation. It was a great journey, full of stress, and sometimes we are. Taking a startup from 0 to 1 is a very fascinating, fun journey. So I was a part of that. And the second thing is starting with magician. I would say, as a kid, I was watching YouTube videos. I wanted to be part of something, like
Mhm.
do something like everyone sees me and be like, wow, you're doing this and etc. So I wanted to be part of that party
Mhm.
crowd, or I wanted to be part of something. So I was, I saw it on TV, fascinated by it. Great stuff. I went to exhibition. People used to do it. I'm like, wow, when I want to do it. So I bought a CD or something, kit. You get that kit and all that. I bought
Yeah.
that. It was like pretty basic stuff. Then I
Mhm.
started watching YouTube. Internet just came in, dial-up connection. That was the thing, the
Yeah.
BSNL era. So
Mhm.
we used to watch videos, learn stuff from there,
Mhm.
and got a CD. Then
Mhm.
because yeah, it was the CD era as well, and then
Yeah.
I started. They were explaining stuff and everything.
Mhm.
So I got a pack of cards. Then we
Mhm.
started doing magic, and I
Mhm.
practice, and then it sort of
Mhm.
worked.
Mhm.
Then I started learning more.
Mhm.
Then I started doing it to initially friends, family, and etc. Hey, dad, he comes from work. I'm like doing it, and it's like so fun. Then I decided let's take it to some other level and challenge myself. What happens is when you're doing it for the very first time to an unknown person, you've never done it in your life. What happens is you get that nervousness easily because it's a completely unknown person that you're approaching on the street and doing it and all that. It's called street magic, and super hard. It challenges you. I was like,
Mhm.
let's do it. So I spoke to other magicians and etc. Participated in communities and all that. They were also motivating me, so I went and did it and felt really happy. So started doing that. Started with that very cool stuff, you can say. Did some shows
Mhm.
as well in malls, and yeah, after that life happened. College happened. 11th, 12th happened. Then had to leave
Yeah.
it. So that's how I
Yeah.
got started with magic, you can say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
I
you see
think
these
that.
magicians on talent and all that. Yeah,
Mhm.
we connected them with long back, and they are like,
Damn.
yeah. Everyone was starting at zero back then.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, I think like the way you are speaking about magic, I feel that you can still do it, and you are still like the person who can go out and do that. Actually,
Yeah,
would you?
easily. That's not a big deal. Yeah,
Yeah.
not a big deal
And
at all.
and apart from that, actually, like by the way, everyone, I don't know Minang personally, and this is the first time we are ever talking. Okay, so just so you know, so like help me understand the engineering thing that.
Mhm.
you dropped out? Because the thing is, even I'm an engineer, and first of all, when you do such kind of acts, actually, you get a lot of judgments from people or friends or even family get worried. They are like, bro, like, are you even focused or what is it exactly? So there are lots of things going on in there. And so what I want to understand is, how did you personally tackle that thing and get your parents to agree to like dropping out of engineering and do the other thing that you wanted to do?
Got it. So you don't get your parents to agree because
Yeah.
it happens already,
Yeah.
especially when you're in a place like Bangalore, Karnataka.
Hmm.
There
Hmm.
is a rule in engineering where you have more than four subjects, they
Hmm. Hmm.
don't
Hmm.
let you go forward.
Yep.
And I had more than four subjects, and they stopped me. Now you have a
Okay.
gap year. Now
Right. Right.
what happens in Karnataka, Bangalore, is that you have to fulfill and pass all these four subjects. Then you can go to the second year, third year, etc. Like that.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
So in this 1 year gap, you only have to do four subjects, and it's like a very empty gap sort of
Hmm.
thing
Hmm. Hmm.
for
Hmm.
just four subjects. So I was waiting, doing stuff.
Hmm.
Um, then I got bored. Like, okay, how many times I'm gonna study these four subjects?
Yeah.
So been so I was looking for something else and etc. Online,
Hmm.
internet,
Hmm.
learning
Hmm.
stuff and all that. But again, never concretely went into anything. So
Hmm.
did four subjects, again went on, and again next year again four subjects happened. I'm like, okay, this is not happening. It's just
Hmm.
going on and on and on. And so it was just taking me a longer time, and it was not worth it continuing. Everyone was
Hmm.
so everyone along, many people were alongside me. That was a
Hmm.
like fun thing. Ha, dost hai, bhai hai. Yeah, it's fine.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
So um, that was basically how it went, and we
Hmm.
decided it's for the better good of everyone
Right.
that we need to come out rather than
Yeah.
staying in and continuing and pushing and doing it in 10 years or
Yep.
15 years or
Yep.
something. So after 2.5, 3 years, I came out
Hmm. Hmm.
and joined BCA
Hmm.
sort of thing. So that's exactly how I came out. Very
Hmm.
simple.
Okay.
Ultimately, when your parents at that time are like, just come out, it's fine. We can't do anything. Yeah. Yeah, everyone will be worried for sure. For sure. Damn
Hmm.
sure.
Exactly.
And
And apart from
once
that,
after they're
actually,
worried, even
hmm.
you are worried because they are also worried.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, at that time, you're not able to see the bigger picture.
Right.
Nobody can see the
Right.
bigger picture. Only very few people can do that.
Hmm. Hmm.
So for anyone who's doing that, I would say nothing wrong in doing that.
Hmm.
Totally fine.
Hmm.
Because doesn't matter right now, nobody is even looking at degrees.
Exactly.
So it really
Exactly.
doesn't matter if you have a degree or not. Very first thing.
Yep.
Now people are only
Yep.
looking at skills. And the kind of
Yep.
skills you get from engineering, especially
Hmm.
in marketing role, you don't get
Yep.
any skills
Nothing.
in
Yep.
marketing skills from engineering.
Yep. Yep.
The max to max that you're going to learn is software development life cycle and the way software developers work and think. And that might help you a bit in navigating the
Hmm.
SaaS world. That's
Hmm.
it. There's nothing more to it at all.
Hmm.
Yeah. So initially it didn't work out. Then slowly, I picked up the pace,
Hmm.
and that's how I navigated the dropping out part. It was tough,
Hmm.
but we it was the right thing to do.
Yeah. And by the way, like, first of all, with the KT thing, I feel you, because that was my first year as well, actually. I mean, in the first year, I had like lots of fear. Like, I was fearing about, like, damn, if I drop out entire year, there would be a gap, and what I would be doing, I don't know, actually. And so it was a, like, I remember myself actually on daily basis. When I wake up in the morning, I'm like, damn, 4 KTs. How do I figure it out? How do I get things done? Because when I went to SEM 2 semester, second semester, I had 10 subjects to give. So I had 10 subjects to give.
Damn.
So I weirdly, like, because I was a lot under pressure that I need to get this done and get out of it so that at least I move on to the second year. That was the pressure. And I remember, like, on daily basis, when I wake up in the morning, I was like, while traveling actually, I really used to cry actually during that period of time, because
Okay.
that was too much stressful for me, because I had to travel about 3 hours up and down on the entire day. And after that, I had to study, attend classes and everything. So it was like my brain is just not working, but I still had to take that. So it was
Absolutely.
that. And the thing is, the main reason why I want to do this YouTube thing or a podcasting is because I know there are lots of people who might be going through this thing. And I know I myself have gone through it. And during this period of time, what you feel is you want someone to tell that it's going to be okay, actually.
100%.
Be,
100%. You exactly want
be,
that someone to tell it's going to
yep.
be okay. Yes.
Yep. And by the way, you can't say this thing out loud, actually. You can't expect people to say, okay, this is going to be fine. You can't do that. So it's like you
Yeah.
want someone to do it, but you can't say it out loud. So you are just suppressed inside now. So
True. 100%.
that's the shittiest position to be in, actually. And apart from
Absolutely.
that, actually, now, I mean, now that I'm working in the marketing field as well, like I
Mhm.
remember there was one of my managers, he was like, bro, why the hell someone hired you in the first place, as you have an engineering degree and you don't have even a marketing background? So I was like, do marketers even need a degree to have a background? That's a question I had, and that's what I want to ask you as well, actually. Like, since you are a BCA person and you went into a marketing field, actually, and so it's a huge differentiation, actually. I mean, BCA is one thing and marketing is whole different thing. So what was the process was like for
So,
you?
yeah,
Hmm.
got it. So, BCA is like a mini version of engineering. That's when I
Hmm.
realized when I got into it, like, oh my God, it's the same subjects. Yeah, everything. That was a bad realization again. And
Okay.
I was like, okay, that's bad.
Okay.
But in the end, BCA also was kind of like a hiccup thing because there were exams and
Hmm.
I already pre-planned like a Bali
Hmm.
uh, trip to Bali and Malaysia and all that. I
Hmm.
was like,
Damn.
it's very much coinciding it. I'm like, okay, what do I need to do? I feel Bali is better, so I went off to Bali instead of giving exam. That was
Of
another story,
course.
but yeah, don't do that, guys. If you are especially a dropout and all that. I did that. While everyone was writing exams, I was in Bali enjoying. Another
Hmm.
story. So um, you're saying how marketers do they need a degree or not? I would say certain there is a certain yes and no to that,
Hmm.
especially with a good MBA degree.
Hmm.
I'll 100% tell you, as of 2022, you will
Hmm.
get better chances and better salaries for sure.
That's
Depends
true.
on the startup. That's more
Hmm.
because a better MBA and etc. makes it more easier, especially
Hmm.
from top tier colleges and all.
Right.
Makes it really, really more easier for you. They won't,
Hmm.
they maybe not give you the marketing knowledge that you need, the digital
Right.
marketing knowledge, etc.
Hmm.
But definitely makes it easier because these startups are looking to get VC funded and these they want to showcase, we have only hired the top tier talent and
Right.
etc. Just to
Right.
showcase in the pitch deck and all that. That's
Yeah.
exactly what they do.
Hmm.
And it's a very bad practice to build a startup like that
Right.
because
Of course.
it doesn't make sense.
Exactly.
It's not like you're getting all the good talent only from top this thing. So,
Yep.
so I don't agree with that, but
Hmm.
it still works.
Hmm.
So having an MBA, especially in a top tier college and etc., definitely is a plus point. But if you don't have MBA, if you're just like a graduate dropout,
Hmm.
doesn't matter.
Hmm.
Doesn't matter really because what happens is you get to start with an internship first somewhere,
Right.
especially in the role of your choice. You have
Hmm.
to choose your internship correctly. That's where the
Hmm.
problem is right now. because many fake internships are out there. They don't pay,
Yep.
or they pay
Yep.
you too less, or they
Mm-hmm.
make you do some meaningless work. Like
Mm.
they want they want you to share their stuff on your personal wall, your personal WhatsApp, or among your friends and etc. I feel that's
Right.
really, really bad. That's not
Mm.
marketing. And
Mm.
they make you do all that stuff. And that's the bad internship. Good internship is basically making you do new things, making you do, and making you understand how your contribution is helping the startup,
Right.
basically. So when I hired interns and all that, I tell them, see, you're making this reel. You're If you're designing this reel, many people reach Instagram boosts it up.
Mm.
Then they reach out, see the content and etc. In a way, we are helping people with the value that we are providing, that you
Right.
are providing, especially with the reel, and
Mm.
that's bringing us discoverability and etc. Because these
Right.
are interns, they
Mm.
don't know anything. And
Right.
as a job, as a manager and etc., that's my job to help them understand. I just can't talk them and
Right.
be like, okay, oh, how many leads came in today and all that stuff. So we need to talk in a way that they would understand, and
Hmm.
that's exactly what I used to do. It was
Hmm.
pretty fun, and they grow. They
Hmm.
learn, they grow, and my funda
Right.
is basically simple. Once they learn, they grow and etc. Just
Hmm.
get them a job in the company and keep them in the company. Rather than
Right.
another thing companies waste time on is just do the internship for 1 or 2 months and they let them leave. I'm like,
Right.
no,
Right.
you join as an intern if you are keen to taking up a job. Otherwise, don't join as an
Hmm.
intern just because your college said
Right.
that in MBA you need to take a
Hmm.
1 month of internship. No, I'm not
Right.
liking those kind of interns. Don't come,
Right.
please, because I'm teaching you everything.
Hmm.
I want you to stay with long term. I'm ready to give you
Of
like a
course.
full time job as well.
Of course.
Yeah, no
I
worries on that
mean,
front.
it's
I'm
it's
ready
a
to grow your career.
waste.
You just have to, yeah,
Hmm.
you
It's
just
a
have
waste of
to be there.
resource.
That's what it is.
Yep. Exactly.
Waste of time,
And
waste of resource, and everything.
yep, exactly. And apart from that, like you touched on to the MBA thing actually, and
Yeah.
that's where I mean, I have been hearing a lot of friends who are like, bro, I want to do MBA and things like that, and they are like, they want a high package salary in a marketing firm or something like that. But the thing is, if you see it practically, I would say I think or I believe actually that instead of doing MBA where you are about spending about like 50 lakhs actually, you are spending about 50 lakhs and not all people afford it. They put a loan or something like that and they go for a salary where they get about 15 to 20 lakhs in India, if I may say, in India, 15 to 20 lakhs. And I mean, I'm like, bro, you are investing 50 lakhs and you are taking about 3 to 4 years of time to recover that thing since you have loans. So, how does that math work out?
Okay, great, good stuff. I found a nice way to make the math work out.
Hmm.
First thing first, this is my opinion only. Other people
Okay.
may disagree with who are listening.
Right.
So it's really simple. First thing is don't do an MBA. First thing
Hmm.
is what happens is even if you do MBA, you're not getting the digital marketing skills required. So the
Right.
very first thing, if you want to cut through the chatter and etc., is to
Hmm.
join an institute, a good digital marketing institute to learn stuff.
Right.
Why institute? Because that's exactly how we learned since childhood.
Hmm.
And that's exactly what we are conditioned and to learn on. If you have since you're like an early Gen Z, Gen Y, etc., you might have learned
Hmm.
some other way, maybe through online and etc. Whatever fits you.
Right.
Just join an
Right.
online course in that case. But you have to
Hmm.
figure out what learning methods work best for you, because otherwise
Hmm.
you will be just piling up courses after courses and you're not
Right.
completing them. That's one big
Right.
problem. So figure out what works for you, spend money and get that skill. That's
Hmm.
exactly what you need to do.
Hmm.
Digital marketing institutes have an edge because they're cutting through all the chatter and just giving you the direct
Right.
knowledge. The good
Right.
ones, not the bad ones. Okay.
Hmm.
And you can learn it directly as well. I didn't go to any institute and all that.
Hmm.
You learn it directly. You have a lot of noise, a lot of
Right.
bad stuff, a lot of useless, irrelevant stuff that you come across
Yep.
the internet.
Yep.
And there's a lot of unlearning that you have to do if you're coming on the
Yep.
right path and all
Yep.
that stuff. So I would recommend going with an institute, spend around 30 to 60K rupees. get that done, and you'll be good. Some of the good institutes, from what I've heard, are Upskill, Digital
Right.
Scholar. Take
Right.
Digital Scholars courses. They're like 600,
Hmm.
700 rupees. Immense value. Amazing value.
Hmm.
I look at them,
Hmm.
I'm like, wow, even I didn't know this. So good value stuff, I would say.
Hmm.
So basically do all that. Otherwise, you can learn online on your own pace as well, but that's going to
Yeah.
take you some time
Yeah.
and all
Exactly.
that. The next best way to learn is via an internship.
Yep.
Take up an internship at a good company. That's what you
Hmm.
aim for. When you're taking an internship, why take an internship at a cheap company?
Right.
Take it at a good
Exactly.
company.
Exactly.
Yeah. You're not aiming for like higher CMO position, etc. It's just an internship.
Yep. Yep.
What does he want? Go through the job description. Exactly. What does he want? Enter those words in Google and
Hmm.
start learning stuff. That's exactly how
Hmm.
you're going to learn, how you're going to present it, etc. The next
Right.
thing is resume. Resume covers most of the
Yep.
stuff, whatever that you want to
Hmm.
include. Don't do a basic
Hmm.
resume and all that. It'll be fine.
Hmm.
Um, Pretty much when you aim for the internship and you get an internship, I think that will unlock the true level of your career growth.
Yep.
And once you
Hmm.
get to that internship, you complete it. If you're getting a job, well and good. If you're not getting a job, you will
Hmm.
get a job somewhere if you have, if the internship has given you like a path, good experience, etc. The way you want to
Hmm.
do this is try connecting with your hiring managers and the managers of the company and ask them guidance. Basically, many of them
Right.
don't do that. Whenever I
Right.
hire people, I go through hundreds of interviews to get to the
Hmm.
right candidate for sure.
Right.
But I'd always tell them the one thing. See, I charge X amount of money for a particular hour. Since you're
Hmm.
like a candidate who is requiring money and etc., who's requiring not money that per se, who's requiring
Hmm.
guidance and everything, I'm willing
Right.
to do it for free because you cannot afford this what I'm charging. I
Yep.
only charge.
Yep.
That's why I only charge brands and etc. I tell them, and they never
Hmm.
reach out. I'll tell you. Out of
Hmm.
100 people, I would say only 4 or 5 reached out, and that's really bad.
Okay.
When I'm
Yep.
offering to help, just take it. I'm just doing a virtual call
Right.
and giving you
Right.
guidance.
Hmm.
Why don't you take that for? Why don't you take it? Other companies are paying $100 per hour. Simple.
Right. Right.
Exactly. I can. Other people are paying $100 per hour, and I'm giving it to you for free.
Hmm.
We don't
Hmm.
realize at that age. We really don't realize the value and all that. But yeah,
Hmm.
the 4 or 5 people who came in, now they are somewhere else. Only.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was the thing. So go do
Hmm.
the internship, get a small job, 20,000, start it,
Hmm.
work your way towards.
Hmm.
Ask what will make me grow in this job. Work your way
Hmm.
towards.
Hmm.
Switch. If it doesn't work out, if there's no growth and etc. after 1 year,
Right.
switch
Right.
again. But upskill yourself in the meantime. Definitely keep
Hmm.
learning skills,
Of
taking
course.
courses and etc. Courses. See, I would say stop with the investments of below 30. Stop with the share market and all those stupid investments
Right.
because that's not what's going to make you grow. You're going to invest
Okay.
like what, 5,000, 10,000 rupees, and then
Right.
10,000 became 11,000. What big deal did you achieve? Tell me that you didn't do
Right.
anything. Rather, you could
Right.
invest that from 10,000, you can invest like 7,000 in a course which you
Hmm.
think is good, and
Right.
then that course may give you more skills. And if you practice those more skills, you can provide those skills as a service or use
Hmm.
that skills in your job to impress your manager or etc.
Right.
etc. stuff.
Right.
So once you grow, reach to a point where you can afford your own MBA,
Hmm.
then to go do MBA. And there are many good small MBA programs as well.
Hmm.
So from one example is STOA.
Hmm.
I've been to their webinars. That's why I can say that
Okay.
they're good
Okay.
stuff, good guidance, etc.
Hmm.
Many alternative MBA programs have come in.
Hmm.
You don't need an MBA. Just like again, you don't need
Right.
an MBA at all.
Right.
You can just be running. But yeah, if you want to do it now at this
Hmm.
particular point of time, now we have a choice actually. You actually
Right.
don't need an MBA because you've grown yourself the hard way by
Exactly.
working, by upskilling,
Hmm.
by getting
Yep.
yourself promoted, etc.
Yep.
Now it's a choice. Now you don't really need an MBA.
Yeah.
Now it's like you want to do it, do it. If you don't want to do it,
Hmm.
it's fine. Now you're doing MBA for different reasons actually. Different
Hmm.
reasons is like let's say you want to get job in, let's say, London or somewhere.
Okay. Okay.
So the education route kind of becomes easier rather than you
Right.
trying and hunting job over there.
Right. Right.
The
Right.
education visa is a bit easier. So it becomes like
Yeah.
that, you know. It
Right.
doesn't become like, yeah, you're doing MBA for, yeah, this thing and
Hmm.
all that.
Hmm.
So That's pretty much it. You can say you don't actually need one, but if you do need one, alternative MBAs are very cheap, super
Hmm.
affordable, under 1 lakh only. They offer you
Hmm.
distance and etc. All that stuff,
Hmm.
and they are pretty decent, good in terms of value as well,
Right, right.
rather than the bigger ones.
No,
So
because
I
the
would say
thing
this is the
is,
path you can take. Yeah. In
hmm,
marketing, again, I'm saying you don't need MBA. It's
yeah,
just a
of
nice,
course.
good to have.
Hmm.
Yeah. Simple.
No, because the thing is, when it comes to MBA, people are like, I want to be at Stanford or Harvard, and they get an admission there by taking some loans. And after finishing that, they get back to India. I'm like, bro, why did you went there?
Yeah. Don't get back to India. If you're getting like a superb this thing package,
by
then come.
by the way,
Or else, yeah.
no, because I wanted to
Go ahead.
tell, because you told
Yeah.
don't get back to India. By the way, we are not promoting any anti-national activities here.
No, it's for your career. I'll tell you. See. So
Yeah,
if you're getting a good package, definitely come to India. No worries in that front. Because
yeah.
you did it from there. You have opportunities to get it there more easier. Actually
Hmm,
more easier, better, and etc. Unless
hmm,
you're super confident on starting up and etc. You think you can raise funds and all that, sure. You're in a different thing.
hmm.
Everything can be debatable. Everything I say and
Right,
etc. can be debatable. That's what it
right.
is. But I would say
Hmm.
continue over there because that's when you're going to, because you have the license now to
Of
go,
course,
just go there and get it. That other Indians don't have it.
of
Many
course.
other Indian youth doesn't have it. You have that privilege right now. So just go and
Hmm,
take advantage of it because you
hmm.
paid money for it and all that and
Right,
worked
right,
hard for it. Simple.
right. No,
That's
the
basically the
thing.
MBA path I would take.
Hmm, hmm. No, because the thing is, like I remember, I guess a month back, I found out that the place where I was living, the building where I was living, in that particular building, there was someone uh, whose father, like basically sold
Okay.
the entire house just so that her daughter can go to abroad and do a degree, by the way, not even MBA, a 4 year degree.
Sure.
I was like, and not only her daughter, his son also is in US actually. So, and they have a loan on that too. Exactly, exactly. So now I'm like, what's this craze about going to abroad and getting a degree? I mean, I've been trying to figure that out. And apart from that, there's one more thing, which is like when you work in a big agencies or anywhere else, actually, in any big MNCs or something like that. What happens is what I've been observing is people are like when you get in a proper company, it's just a race out there. You are just chasing one titles to next. That's what is happening. And what I've been thinking lately, I'm like, okay, you get this particular title. Let's say you became a manager somewhere. Okay. Now you have more responsibilities and you have more money, of course. But apart from that, what could be the reason possibly that a person is spending about 24 hours of their time in chasing that title? I mean, is it even worth it actually? Because if you are chasing it for the money, I would say, okay, that's fine. But if you're chasing it just for the title, I'm like, bro, what? So
I'll
what
tell
do you
that to you.
think?
See,
Yeah.
that becomes much more easier. So if you're chasing it for the title, what happens is startups are ready to give you that title.
Hmm.
You will easily get that title in a startup.
Hmm.
Super easily. You don't have to chase also. In startup,
Hmm.
there is very minimal chase compared to corporate where there are 1,000 people above you.
Of course.
So see, it's really simple. If I want to get a head of marketing in,
Hmm.
let's say, a big company like MNC or something, it will take
Hmm.
me 10 years, 15 years.
Right.
Now, in startups, I can get a CMO right now, as
Right.
it is.
Right. Right.
Many people have been offering me that. And now
Hmm.
that's a choice that I have to make. Do I'm
Hmm.
wanting the title? Do I'm wanting the money?
Hmm.
Do I'm wanting a mix of both, etc.
Right. Right.
And then I go whatever is good. No, that's exactly what
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
should be
Hmm.
doing. So I thought about this topic, and I can say
Hmm.
that
Damn, by the way.
Go where the learning is there,
Yeah,
not the
by the
title or
way.
something. Go where the learning is there. Simple.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Just lower your ego a bit down. Go where the
Mm-hmm.
learning is there. Because if you go where the learning is there, you'll ultimately grow in life. There's no other big deal. And if you're under 30, it doesn't really matter. Just go where the learning and you'll be fine. Because
Mm-hmm.
um, you can keep on
Yeah.
learning. You can keep on learning these skills,
Yeah.
new
Yeah.
skills and etc. And once you're 30 and etc., you're like, you can lead, you can charge now, you can do
Right.
stuff. You
Right.
have worked with different people, different roles and
Hmm.
all that. So that the simple answer is go where the learning is.
Right.
That's it. But
Right.
again, depends on your financial condition and etc.
Of
You have to keep
course.
that in mind and
Hmm.
choose like a good paying job as well.
Yep, yep, yep. And apart from that, like since one of the most important thing is when someone is starting their careers and they shift a lot, like in different fields in the same domain. Okay, let's say you were a social media guy and then you were like, okay, I don't like social media much. Let me shift to SEO. And this is what some people usually do. This is what I have done personally, actually. Okay, so this is what I've done personally, and trust me, there are lots of judgments actually, because people are like, what's the possibility that you would be sticking to this particular field and not jump onto the next fun thing? What's the possible? So, what do you think about this particular thing? Is it a good thing or a bad thing?
Again, there are both sides to this. One
Yep.
side is a very good thing. I only see the good thing part, which
Mhm.
is good. You're exploring and you're learning skills. Because what
Right.
happens in the future, as a head of marketing or a CMO and etc.,
Mhm.
you're
Mhm.
not just a social media guy
Right.
and you be like you don't know anything about SEO or something. No,
Right.
you know
Right.
about SEO, you know about paid ads, you know about analytics,
Hmm.
you know about this stuff.
Hmm. Right.
And that's what you're gonna get when you explore your curiosity like this by
Hmm.
jumping around and all that. So it doesn't
Hmm.
really matter if you're personally
Hmm.
in your domain jumping around. If you found something good, do it.
Hmm.
No worries on that front. Yeah,
Hmm.
that's all I can. That's what I would say. There's no judgment part of thing and etc. They
Hmm.
don't see the bigger picture of those people who are judging and all that.
Right, right.
Yeah,
And
they're stuck in their own wheel basically.
yep, yep.
Feel free to jump around, go do stuff.
Hmm.
Another but the bad side of it is don't chase the shiny object syndrome. The good side of it is
Okay.
do it, good part.
Hmm.
But the bad side of it is don't chase the shiny object syndrome. Shiny
Right,
object syndrome is basically right now many people jumped into crypto last year.
right.
Many people jumped into NFTs last year.
Of course.
Now they are coming back to their own fields. And that is shiny object. And many people are now
Right.
still sticking to that. So I would
Hmm.
say don't just jump because you see the money and etc.
Right,
Jump because you are curious about it and you want to explore. That's a very thin
right,
line you have to be careful about, and then you will
right.
be good at it. Then you will be like
Hmm.
avoid shiny object syndrome. Then it's good, definitely good. Want to jump into paid ads? Sure, do it. There's no
Yeah,
big deal about it.
yeah.
That's what it is.
Awesome. And like, so the closing lines, I want to ask, what's the most, like, we have already given pretty much many advices for people like in the companies and everything. So what's the most practical advice that you can give to people who are about like 18 or 19, who are in their 11th or 12th standards and they think that they can be a marketer or something like that? So what's the most practical advice you can give to those to get started out on it?
Simple. So if you think you can be a marketer, definitely you can be a marketer. No doubt about it.
Hmm.
Marketing is not that hard also
Hmm.
to get into and learn and all that stuff.
Right.
So the very first thing that I've seen people make mistakes is
Hmm.
the resume part.
Right.
Search for ATS compliant resume template.
Hmm.
ATS compliant resume
Hmm.
template. You got
Hmm.
to download that and use that.
Okay.
Why? Because companies use an applicant tracking system to
Okay.
track those resumes automatically. And if you make resumes in Canva with graphics and all that, sometimes the
Okay.
ATS might not be able to read that. And that's one of the cases your resume will be rejected even before looking at it. The computer itself is rejecting your resume.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it
Okay.
happens in companies like LinkedIn, Twitter, etc. So you have to, your resume has to be ATS compliant. So you will get that template super easily. ATS compliant resume looks very boring and etc. But that's the resume. That's what will get you into big companies. That's very first thing.
Okay.
So make sure your resume is ATS compliant. And the second thing, if you don't have experience, you can include the college experience for sure, but don't include you did a robotic this thing in college. I mean, that's fine, but how is it related to marketing?
Right. Right.
Unless you
Right.
found there's a nice way to put it. So marketing is basically you put it in a nice way. You have a boring stuff and etc. You just put it,
Right.
brand it nicely, add
Right.
all that stuff, and be like, wow, this is the best product ever, and all that
Yeah.
stuff.
Right.
That's what you do it intelligently.
Yeah.
So ATS compliant resume. That's one thing. Second thing is focus on your math. Math is important in marketing. Yes, you can get ahead in marketing without math, but you'll hit a ceiling because marketing, there's a part called measurement where you have to measure
Okay.
analytics and all that. Look at the
Right.
data.
Right.
So start learning basic skills like Excel. That will help you
Damn.
a lot actually.
Okay.
And the third part is at 11th or 12th, books might be boring to you. So I won't suggest books. But in future, you will definitely read books. So don't worry about it.
Right.
Um, Start watching certain videos which you think are interesting in marketing for you. Like
Right.
the videos I used to watch were how to get more followers on Instagram. That's exactly how I became a social media manager at the start. So
Right.
start with the Instagram basic social media stuff. Very easy to get into again. Nobody wants to
Right.
create content because it's a headache, this thing. They're ready to
Of
outsource
course.
that part. So
Yep.
start getting into those kind of things. If you don't want to get into those kind of things, surely get into SEO and all that, but that's what it is. First, choose a domain. Start learning about that domain in digital marketing. Inside digital marketing, you have social media, SEO, paid ads, etc., etc., etc.
Right.
First thing you have to learn is what the hell is marketing. And now
Right.
then you will learn that digital marketing is just marketing using digital mediums. There's nothing
Right.
big
Right.
or something about it. And
Right.
now which digital medium you have to choose, that is up to you, whatever you feel is interesting. Start choosing it, start learning it, start get an internship.
Right.
And once you get, that's exactly what you need to aim for, trying to get an internship.
Right.
And in this meantime, you have to focus on your sharpening your English skills as well,
Right.
because you might be growing, but if your English skills are not growing, right, written and etc., you're going to suffer again. So start learning basic, like how do you write an email etiquettes, all that stuff,
Right.
because that's what matters when you're communicating, negotiating, and all that stuff with employees. Otherwise, they will take advantage of you. And initially, at the start of your career, you will be taken advantage of. Don't
Of
worry about
course.
it.
Of course.
Definitely don't worry about it. But go where the learning comes, and
Right.
you will be good. That would be my advice. And constantly upskilling in your career. If you don't upskill, what happens is you will lose out. Digital marketing is an
Right.
ever-changing field. We were not talking
Right.
about AI in digital marketing 2 years ago. Now we are talking extensively. Every tool is now suddenly an AI-based tool. Now, if you're not upskilling, you don't know what is AI and all that stuff, how it works and all that. So keep upskilling always. That's what it is. That would be
Awesome.
my advice. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. So, well, thank you so much for doing this. And it was really awesome conversation with you. I feel you enjoyed it also.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It was fun.
Yep. Yep. Okay. Okay. Bye.
Okay then. See ya.
Yep.
Bye.
Yep.